What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Bible Study Corner. My name is Isaiah. Beside me is this sweet young thing, Martina, my wife. And today we're going to be answering one of our questions that we received. If you remember, we posted up a post asking, if you have any questions, considering dating or marriage or anything pertaining to relationships, inboxes. And one of the questions we got was about dating. So today we're going to be holding a little convo about dating. Well, I'm just going to call this one Dating 101. A scripture I would use to encourage people that's in the process of dating or talking to somebody that they want to be in a relationship in would be the book of Ruth, to basically help steer them down the right direction, to help them get a better idea of how to be a lady or how to be a gentleman or how to incorporate God within that relationship. Alright, so we're going to jump right into it. The first piece of advice that I could give to someone that's trying to date or talking to somebody that they intend to date would be to try your best to get to really know that person. Ask as many questions as you can. Just blow them down with questions, and if they get upset with the amount of questions that you're asking them, and you're basically just trying to get to know them, I would just leave them alone. They're that kind of person that I wouldn't waste my time with, because they may have some hidden issues or agendas behind those closed doors.
Or it could just be some things they're not ready to talk about with somebody else, because a lot of people have issues opening up.
I guess that would be the whole, talking it out phase. I guess that would be the perfect place for it to start. But again, you have to be willing to, open up to somebody.
The thing is too, though, with relationships nowadays, that the phase that everybody's talking about, the talking phase, people don't really talk because they
rush to the bed.
Rush to do other things like right. The bedroom and other stuff, instead of actually genuinely getting down, talking about it, like saying, hey, do you want to get married? Do you want more kids, or do you want some kids? And
it's a better way put. Nobody's really intimate with it anymore.
Yeah, nobody is asking the deep questions that you need to ask before you get married to somebody, because people get married and then find out all this crazy stuff.
What's funny, now that you mention it, nobody really, takes the time to actually date anymore. Nobody really like, oh, let's go bowling, let's go, do something, go on a picnic or something. But it's always let's Netflix and chill and all this other crap. Why can't it just be,
or not even that, it's just staying in the house. I mean, when you go on an actual date and you actually get to know one another and you actually have fun together, that's when you really get to see the different seasons of somebody.
Right.
Like for instance, winter is the harsh moments, or when they really down and out and stuff like that. But
good times, bad times.
Right, because when we on the date, if you get mad because you didn't make a strike, then I want to see how you get when you get mad. You know what I'm saying? I need to know if you're gonna beat me between the washer and dryer. Or
Here we go with the washer and dryer again.
Look,
I saw somebody posted on Facebook once. It said, if you really want to see somebody's real attitude instead of this fake facade that they putting on, cut off the internet and see how they act. That'll really show what kind of person they really are. Which leads us into our next piece of advice, which would be to pay attention to the details, or in other words, pay attention to the red flags, the more important things in trying to get to know this person.
Like, for instance, not everything is a red flag. I know this. What's crazy is women, when they're dating, what some people consider to be a red flag don't be a red flag to them. It's only like, I can't tell you how many times somebody will tell me something about somebody they dating, and I'm like, you consider that a red flag? That's not a red flag. Like I know people who, and it's no shade to anybody that's getting abused, but like, or I'm not trying to speak on people that get abused, because I know that's a hard thing to work on. Right. But I know some people who think that getting abused is love, or like they'll be like, oh, so and so got beat, I ain't gonna accept that. But it's like, but you being hypocritical, because in your own home you allow it. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see.
So it's like what you think is a red flag, some people be like, oh, he loves me too much, that's a red flag. No, honey, when a man can value the little things about you instead of worrying about other stuff like what you ready to put you to bed. And like, I know so many females that got kids, and the only time that the man want to see them is when the kids in bed. That's a red flag.
Right, that would be a big old red flag right there.
When my kids are asleep, that lets me know only thing you want is some cheeks.
Right. Or not even that. Like, I realize a lot of people, they only pay attention to red flags. You know, why can't you like pay attention to the good stuff about people anymore? Like, if you really want to get a man's attention, or if you really want to get a woman's attention, pay attention to the good things about them, like how they let off a little smirk when they happy, or you know, a certain way they walk, or the certain way they do their hair. You know, that's the one thing that you really that you find the best attractive feature about them. You know, it doesn't always, oh gosh, she is just perfectly built. No, just, you know, why not pay attention to that person's personality? Why not call it the good in the person's personality? I realize today we always try to find the bad in folk.
Exactly.
Why not look for even the Bible says, you know, in all things hope. You know, and when it's saying that, it's basically saying hope for the best in people, you know? You can't always just expect the wrong out of folks. So, of course, you know, pay attention to the red flags. Of course, nobody's saying no, don't pay attention to that. But also, if you're trying to court somebody and you're trying to get, you know, really get to know this person, get more on an intimate level with them, pay attention to the good stuff too. Don't just focus on the bad, because once you pay more attention to the bad, you miss the good stuff. And then you end up, you know, probably losing a potential mate because you become so paranoid.
Not even that, but pay attention to when it's time to leave and when you should keep fighting. Because some people, they stop fighting all because, oh, I feel like I'm being too difficult. Right. Oh, I'm this, I'm that. They worried about what the other person is thinking of them instead of the actual issue. Right. So some people, they won't leave. Like, a man could sit there and keep cheating on them, keep cheating on them, keep cheating on them. So it's like, oh, wow, I love him. Or it's like I said, for instance, getting beat. It's like, oh, I love them. No, honey, ain't that much love in the world for me to sit there and stay. Right.
And that leads us into our next piece of advice, which is to never settle for anyone who treats you like you're not worth the time of day. And sadly, I see this a lot of females. A lot of women today, they feel like they're so quick to, they're not going to ever find Mr. Right. So they settle for somebody that they think is because they look so good, or they have all the qualities that they think that they want, when they don't really realize that the qualities that you want may not be what's best, because God knows you better than you know yourself. So the man or the woman that he's created for you is perfectly fit for you. But the person that you think is best for you is actually somebody that may have the potential of dogging you out like straight dog.
But not even that. What it is some women nowadays as well, what they do is they settle for the man that they have to chase. They don't let the man do the chasing. Right. I've told a lot of my friends that when a man really is feeling you and he really entwined and in love with you, you gonna know, because when a man is really feeling you, he should wake up every day, not saying before marriage, like even before marriage, or if we're dating, he should wake up every day and say, man, what can I do better to make her happy? Or God, or he gonna sit there and ask God, what can I do to make this or that and third, to do this and that and third for her. It's gonna hurt him to hurt you. It's going to make him to the point to where, first of all, it's gonna hurt him to hurt you. It's gonna you're not gonna have to tell a grown man how to be a man
or how to treat you, period.
Exactly. You're not gonna, that's not what women fail to realize is, and I've seen this a lot in this generation, is women, what we do, we're the nurturers. We're supposed to, you know, nurture. So women, what they do is tend to. So what they feel like is, oh, this broken man, or a man that has insecurities or all this other things, and they feel like, oh, if he cheats and I forgive him, that I can change him and I can do this and that and third for him. So then what they do is they sit there try to change him, but don't realize all this time you're sitting here wasting it, down to 2-3 years y'all together. You sitting here wasting time raising a man because he didn't learn what he was supposed to learn with his mama. Because because let's really be real. Sometimes it's not the mama's issue of why that man act the way he is. It's insecurities and stuff he has going on with himself.
So he treats you like he feels like he needs to treat you because he doesn't know how to even love himself.
Exactly. Because it starts with self.
Exactly. Or a better way I would say to put it is, don't settle for someone that won't treat you like you're God's best. If they're in their head and how they think inwardly will result, you can tell outwardly. But if in their head, if you're not considerably God's best to them, then they're probably like, if you're not considered God's best to that person, then this person probably, they're probably going to treat you like you're not worth it, because God's best will chase you. You don't have to chase it.
Exactly. I noticed that a lot of women, when every man they meet, it's like, we're gonna get married. Everybody, and it's like, I used to have that same mentality because I thought I'm thinking I'm a good woman. Duh, anybody gonna want to marry me? But it's like, you can have that mindset, but everybody that you come into contact with is not husband material or wife material. Just because you asked me to marry you does not mean I gotta say yes. It does not mean I can say, oh my God, you're husband material. No, because if you can cheat on me, if you can do me any kind of way and it not hurt you to hurt me, then why do we need to get married?
Exactly. We need to go and cut this now.
But not even that. It's just like, just in our relationship, period. It's certain things that it's like, do I really want to sit here and live with this for the rest of my life?
Right.
Women and men, not only just women, men too, need to look at all characteristics. Not just, oh, she pretty, and it's a good thing to look at it early in the morning. No.
See, and you hit the needle on the head. It's not just females too, because I know some dudes that's the same way. They think they can't get any better than this one person. So they settle with this one person because they think they're just so pretty they won't run across any woman as fine as this one, as gorgeous and well built as this one. But trust and believe, I'm happily married, but I'm the kind of dude, if you treat me right, we good. I'm not about to sit here and settle with somebody that makes me absolutely miserable, because I am so, and some of us were programmed to think this way because we allowed this person to get so deep in our heads that you ain't gonna get no better than me, No, it don't work like that. But I'm not about to sit here and live my life miserable with somebody I cannot stand for 15 years because 15 years earlier, this person convinced me that I'm not going to get any better.
Right.
No, I refuse. That's not how life is meant to be lived. I refuse.
Ladies and men, learn the difference between love and lust.
Right. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. There ain't nothing else to say on that one. Which again leads me into another one. Learn to understand that not everybody is called to go where you're going. This ties into what Martina just said. You're not called. Every dude that you see, you're not supposed to marry him. Not everybody is called to be your husband, or not everybody is called to be your wife. This is again one of those situations where you need to actually spend time with God. You need to sit down, talk to the Lord, be real with him for a second. If you're not saved, of course, ask him to come into my life, be my Lord and Savior. But be real with him. Tell him, sure, all right, Lord, who do you want? Who do you want for you to be in my life? Who do you want for me to have a relationship with that's going to help me draw closer to you and not further away from you? That's going to help push me into the calling that you have on my life and not help me run away from it. Because believe it or not, there are people out here that help you run away from your calling. They're not realizing that they're doing that because, they're just out having a good time. You, on the other hand, you know what your calling is. God's told you what you're called to do. He showed you what you're called to do. But sometimes he creates I'm not going to say sometimes. Oftentimes he creates a circle. He creates a group of people that's going to help you get to where you are called to be. But understand that some people, like Martina often says, some people are meant for a season and some people are meant for a lifetime. If that person's here for a season, that means you're supposed to get something. You're supposed to learn something from this person. They're going to have something in that you may not like how it ends. You may not like how y'all get along. But this person is going to impart something in you that's going to be helpful for when you get to the future in your calling. And when that person's meant for a lifetime, this person's meant to be here to help push you and thrive you. You're going to tell this person's meant to be for a lifetime because they're gonna constantly enforce what God has already placed on your life. Now you know that God didn't tell you to do that, or you know that you shouldn't be doing that. You know, they're gonna, not only that, but they're gonna be down for the ride. You know,
Right.
they're gonna want to see you grow.
If you're gonna follow God and ask Him for all of this stuff, trust Him.
Right.
You can't. The blind can't lead the blind.
Yeah, exactly.
So you can't sit there and say you trust Him, but then you still going
to this person, that
person, and then when stuff ain't going your way, you're like, God, why didn't I get what I wanted? Why am I not getting the directions that I wanted? You seek everybody else before you seek Him.
See.
So now God is like, who are you serving?
Exactly.
Me or these other people? Do you want me to do it, or do you not want me to do it? Because you have to trust God without the borders, without sitting here saying, "Oh, God, I don't know if you're gonna do it," or "Oh, God, I'm like." It's some people that they sit in a pity party and they sit there and they'll wait and they'll be like, "Oh, and I'm never gonna find the love of my life. I'm this, I'm that," and they want everybody else to be down with them.
Everybody else to be enjoying that pity party.
We got to go see a psychic because I gotta go find my man. And then it's like, some of y'all sit and you pray for stuff that you know you're not ready for yet.
Right.
Because when you sit there and you pray, God gonna give it to you. But it's not going to be as easy as it is. Like exactly. I said in the last Bible study, it is like a GPS. You're not going to just immediately get there in a straight shot. No, it's going to be obstacles. Just like I say in marriage and in dating, there are obstacles. When you marry somebody, you marry them because you want to face life's obstacles with them. Mm-hmm. You don't sit there and you get married and they go left, but you want to go right. Yeah, no, exactly. We all need to go in the same direction.
We need to be on one accord.
But not only on one accord, but God need to be included in it.
Exactly. Otherwise, that cord is going to be easily to snap. But to add on to what you said, a lot of people, they ask God, Lord, show me your way, show me your will, show me this person, show me my life that you want me to have. And He's like, okay, I showed you. And that's another problem. A lot of people, they're expecting God to speak through this big old booming voice or this big old dramatic, event that's going to catch their eye, or stand out there expecting, just like Moses, to see some burning bush that's not getting engulfed by the flames, or they're expecting to see some bird jaywalking down the street or something and thinking that's God talking to them. Hush. So they're ignoring God's bigger answer. They're ignoring God's bigger responses because they're expecting the more dramatic stuff. And oftentimes God's like, I already spoke to you. I spoke to you through this person, but you figured, since they were so young, you ain't paying no attention. Or
not even that. Some people you feel like some people that God is seeing to speak through, sometimes you just be like, some people just like, oh, she better. Mm-hmm. She don't want me to be happy. She don't this, she don't that, or he or she don't want this and all of that. But sometimes what people fail to realize is it's not just, oh Lord, I want a man. Oh, let me send you a man down. No, it's not work like
he's not a heavenly. I like how one dude put it.
It don't work like that. It's going to come with obstacles. Yep. It's going to come with different things. And when it comes, let's really be real, ladies and gentlemen, it might not be the type that you like.
Right.
It might be like when God designed somebody specifically for you, it may not be the shape, size, any kind of type that you want. It could be something specifically for you, because it says God is probably trying to tell you that, hey, I brought you out of this because I wanted you to bring you into this. Mm-hmm. I know so many women who sit there and brush off certain men, or that have not became married now because they would not sit there and reply to their inbox because they're too busy messing with people that are their type, or that's popular and that's doing all this crazy stuff, not realizing the man that's been in your inbox talking to you for 20 years and you ain't said nothing back might be that one.
And that's another thing. That dude ain't gonna be there forever. And what a lot of people don't know is that even grace has an end period.
Right.
And certain things, God's like, okay, time is running out. You need to get on it. This dude, you're wasting time. You're wasting time.
So they trying to string along that person until they're ready to deal with them.
God's gonna be like, okay, you wanted to waste their time. You basically wasted my time, so I'm just gonna send him on to somebody that because the promise has to be fulfilled. I'm gonna send him to the person that should have been with him from the get go,
or that was gonna appreciate him.
Exactly. It would have been you, but since you didn't want to get your act together and decided you want to handle this like a high schooler, then I'm going to send somebody that's actually serious. That's another thing. I didn't include this. Find somebody that's not down for the games. Take the time to actually find someone that's serious. They want something serious. They want something for real. I'm in it. If you're in it, I'm willing to go down. If you're willing to go down, just find somebody that's for real.
Right. They need to be down like 2 flats, honey. 2 flats.
Our next key piece of advice that I want to give would be to never settle for anyone that doesn't have any ambition for the future. In other words, what that means, don't settle for nobody that don't got no plan for their life. They find where they at. They cool with living in their mama crib. They cool with dogging every female that they have and getting like 20 kids right behind it. They cool with not moving up in life. They cool with not having a plan, period. Because eventually what happens is that drags you down to their level. Not only that, they're cool with not being married. They're cool with just shacking up all their life. They cool with where they at. And for somebody that's willing to excel in life, that's willing to aviate in life, that's a bad mix,
It's not even ambition. And I've learned this from my papa. When I got married, he said, where you start is how you gonna finish. If that man ain't got no job, I'm not trying to be funny or nothing. That man ain't got no job now. Unless you see him looking in newspapers, online, going to job interviews, putting forth the work, do not sit there and settle. Because I know some men that'll sit there and be like, oh, I'm just staying with my mom for the time being. And then when it come around, all of a sudden, they all want to talk to all these females that got their own place. Let's be real, ladies. When the winter comes, that's what most of these men is looking for, a place to stay. If he already got kids, got a job, all of this other stuff, he still stay with his mama's house. It's one thing to be staying at your mama's house, because I had to learn this when I was staying with my mama. One thing I never did is I never stayed for free.
Right. Oh, yeah.
I may have when I wasn't working, but when I was working, my mama didn't have to tell me to pay a bill. You do it. That's just common sense.
I'm not about to be the burden. I'm going to be a blessing. I'm going to leave it as clean as I'm going to leave it cleaner than it was when I first got here. I'm not about to be the problem. I'm going to help be the resolution.
Exactly, but not even that. It's not more so that because my mama asked me to pay so and so bill. No, it's that I knew I wasn't ready to get out and get my own place. So I said, I'm going to help my mama, and I'm going to do this and that and third. I'm going to give them money for bills, because that's learning responsibility.
You know what? Let me get in right there. Mm-hmm. A lot of people, they're saying, God, why won't you bless me with my own place? Why won't you bless me with my own car? Why won't you bless me with my own job? You're not even being faithful with the things that God has already placed in your care. You want God to bless you with your own place? All right, then treat this room that you have in your mama's house as if it was your own place. Pay a bill. Clean up after yourself. Wash your dishes. Act like this is your place and you're doing your best to take care of it. Right. If you don't got no car, okay, bless God's name every day you don't have a car, and just because you know your real car is coming.
Give gas money to people that
give gas. Take care. If you're riding your bike, take care of your bike. Make sure you got air in them tires. Make sure your chains hold up. Make sure you are taking good care. Because believe it or not, as funny as it may sound, believe it or not, this is God's way of testing you. Okay. I want to see if you were. I'll never forget me and Martina's first car. I don't know if you remember this. You gotta remember this. The 1997 Chevy Lumina. Mm-hmm. Boy, I was in love with that thing. That was my baby. You couldn't tell me nothing. I took care of that thing. Every day I woke up, I said, I got me a car. Thank you, Jesus. I have me a car. And when it came time to get a new car, I didn't want to get a new car in all honesty, because that was my baby. But God said, okay, he's being real faithful with it. It's time to give him, because that thing is a piece of junk. Let's just be real. Let's go and clear that, clear that out and give him a new one. He saw that we were faithful with the few. You faithful with you, I'm gonna bless you with many. If you faithful with this one little area in your life right now, he will bless you with the area that you're trying to get to. But first, you have to be faithful with the little that he gave you.
Right.